Hello and welcome to this episode of Walking Movies. I'm Nick, and this is something I've never done before. Um, but it felt like the perfect time to do it because Disney have just released the trailer for Tron Ares, which is the third Tron film. And for anyone that knows me, I love Tron. I've always loved Tron. In fact, this is what I was wearing when the trailer dropped, this backpack. Um, Tron is a film that has meant so much to me uh, throughout my life. Like it was one of the pivotal films when I was a child. Like watching it for the first time just kind of blew me away. And when Tron Legacy came out, that was another important part of my life. It was something that I was able to share with my dad, who was also a massive fan of Tron. And I got fully into Tron Legacy. The hype to it. I was on holiday in Disney World on the lead up to the film, and the merchandise started coming out, and I just bought as much as I possibly could because I just wanted it all. And I was lucky to go to a preview screening of the film. I went to the premiere of the film, and I saw it, I think, twice in IMAX. It's just a film that I love. And then to kind of like add on top of that, in my in my 30s, I made it a habit of the night before my birthday of watching Tron and Tron Legacy into like the midnight hour into the next year of my birth. Um, so Tron has always meant a lot to me. It's meant a lot to me, and we were supposed to get a third Tron film. Legacy didn't do as well as Disney had hoped, and so they kind of didn't rush it into production, and then they were literally days away from starting production on Tron 3 when they released the movie Tomorrowland, which bombed. And so production was cancelled on Tron 3. And that was what we thought was going to be the end of it. And then a few years later, in Shanghai Disney, they opened up the Tron Light Cycle coaster. And then just a couple of years ago, they made a version of that at Disney World in their Tomorrowland. And I thought it was weird because I thought, you're doing this to a franchise which is effectively dead to you. Like, there's no TV series, there's no films coming out. So I thought it was a weird choice. Excited by it, but a weird choice nonetheless. And then you kept hearing rumors every now and again that there was going to be a third Tron film. And then they announced that there was going to be one. And everyone was asking me, like, are you excited? I was like, look, until until the film gets a release date, until we see a trailer, I'm not buying it. I've been let down before, so I wasn't too hyped for it. But now we do have a trailer, and I did see some footage from D23 last year when they showed. I'm not sure if it's this trailer, but they certainly showed some footage from the film, and now they've released that to the public, and we know when it's coming out. And I'm allowing myself to get a bit more excited, but I haven't seen the trailer yet. All I do know is that, Daft Punk are not going to be making the music for this film. It's going to be Trent Reznor and Nine Inch Nails, and that Jared Leto is in this film, which, concerns me somewhat, you know. Um, and also, I don't think, I know there's some returning cast, but not the ones that I was hoping to see. However, I haven't seen the trailer, so maybe there's people that I thought hadn't been announced that are in this trailer. I don't know, but that's what I wanted to say about the background of Tron and me and why I'm excited to see this. Let's go and see the trailer. Let's go and watch it together and see what we think. Okay, here we go.
Requesting dispatch. Already in pursuit.
I'm looking for something. Something I do not understand. Ready? Because there's no going back.
Uh, wow. Um, that's um, that's not. I mean, I guess it is what I expected, but it's also not at the same time. Um, okay. Um, all right. So it takes place in the real world, or certainly a lot of it seems to take place in the real world. So it kind of follows on from what we saw in Tron Legacy, in where they look like they could be like a gateway from the virtual world to the real world, and we're now seeing that in this film. Um, you don't see a whole lot, but you see enough, I think, to kind of get you interested. It definitely looks like it's a different film from Tron Legacy, although aesthetically, a lot of the things are quite similar. So, like the design of the light bikes are very similar. The way that the trail from the light cycles is also similar to what we saw in Tron Legacy. Um, and yeah, Jared Leto's in it, but you can't have everything. It looks very interesting to me. I am excited after seeing that trailer. Um, the music sounded good as well. You know, the Daft Punk soundtrack is fantastic. Um, it's something that I've listened to quite a lot over the years. There's some real bangers on it. um, but the music in the trailer sounded good, so that's also a positive. Um, I'm my concern really is what they're expecting and how they think this is going to go. Because as a Tron fan, I'm excited by it, I'm interested. The problem with Tron has always been it felt like a very kind of cult film. And Tron Legacy, Disney's own expectations for Tron Legacy is that they wanted an Avatar sized hit because it came out the year after Avatar. And, it made about $500 million at the box office. It wasn't a flop, but it also wasn't doing Avatar numbers. And for a cult film to do that should have been a win, but it wasn't seen by Disney as a win. So, what's the expectation here? What are they looking for? A studio that has things like Marvel films and Star Wars now, what do they want from Tron? What are they expecting? I don't know how much this film costs. So, I mean, it looks like a lot of money's being spent on it, as it did with Tron Legacy. But what I mean is that, what's their barometer going to be? And also, what's their plan if this is a success? Are they going to follow it up with another film or maybe a TV spin-off? Because now, of course, they have Disney Plus. So, when Tron Legacy came out, there was an animated series called Uprising, which aired on the Disney Channel. But now they've got a streaming service, which is always needing new programming. So are they going to go down that road? Or, you know, are we going to have to wait another, you know, 15 years or so for another? Because it is actually, I didn't even think about that. But yeah, Tron Legacy came out in 2010, so this is 15 years later. Um, and the original Tron to Tron Legacy was 28 years. So are we going to have a big gap if this, doesn't break box office records? And I don't think it will. That's the thing. Like, I can see that this could be quite successful because it looks interesting enough, but the name of Tron alone isn't going to be enough to drive people in. Jared Leto being in this film is not going to be enough to draw people in. He's not a box office draw. No one in that trailer is a box office draw. And that was the same with the last Tron. That was mainly a cast filled with, relative newcomers, and they were relying on the effects to sell that film and to get people in there. And I don't think it needs a huge star, but it will suffer without star power. And star power is an interesting thing in Hollywood at the moment because a lot of stars don't have the drawing power that they once did. Maybe that'll work in advantage for this if it's been able to keep the budget down. Um, Regardless, the most important thing is I'm excited by it. What do you think? Are you excited to see a neutron? Do you think it doesn't look different enough? Or are you worried about it in another way? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching this with me. Roll on October is all I can say. I really want to see this film and I want to see it yesterday. So yeah, let's wait to see what happens. And as always, Flynn Lips.